Back everyone, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OST as we've returned. We have returned here with the round of 16. We just covered Bulmyeolja, just took down his opponent, the Wayman, in the round of 32, but now we're jumping into the round 16. This is where the bigger names, the bigger players are lying in wait. Oh boy, spawning in the right-hand corner of BlackRock. Oh, we have the South Korean Terran player, we have the Red Terran for Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss himself from Land of the Americas. It is Bulmyeolja. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as I'm ready for the Warcraft aesthetic. Let's go. So welcome to BlackRock. So immediately BlackRock, I think of World of Warcraft. BlackRock was ordered an Orc clan, and there it is. Speaking of Warcraft, we have the Orc Tower. So looks like Avex is a bit of a Warcraft enjoyer here, as we have all the spikes, we have all the skulls. It's very Orc-esque. It's very green as well, which makes sense. So very BlackRock fan. God, I don't remember. For those who are unaware, I used to play a lot of WoW back in the day, like back in God, Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm, all that kind of era of StarCraft, that kind of era of World of Warcraft. I can't remember what clan is the BlackRock clan. I can't quite recall. I know it's Orcs. I know that. God, I'm trying to reach into the deep recesses of my mind. I can't quite recall, but you know, I can see the references already. I mean, yeah, we just have more Orc towers all over the place. More watchtowers. Hey, look, there's if it couldn't be more blatant, there's an Orc right there. The footman, I should say. Let's go. If the references weren't blatant enough. You know, references aside, let us discuss the map itself. So Avex, this is looking to be one of the new TLMC submissions. I have yet to see and experience this map yet, so I'm curious as to how he brought this all together. So when it comes to the main base is a little bit accessible. I believe the Blink Stalkers with high ground vision can dive into the main here on the right hand side, but they're going to be a little bit limited here due to the patches. So that is good. There are going to be some limitations here when it comes to rotations, at least a little bit. When it comes to the third location, very close by ground. The linear third base is close by ground, but it is quite open. We do have two big entrances into the third, but we have rocks or towers to be knocked down to actually reduce how exposed the third base is. I'll be honest, the terrain here feels very old school. The terrain here reminds me of, am I thinking of Whirlwind or Python? Like, there's a couple of maps from like early Legacy that had a similar vibe set, but we even have some tall grass here. Okay, curious. Here we can hide units, we can hide scouting SCVs, we can hide probes, we can potentially even hide proxies behind this as well. I feel like there's a lot of potential here with the with the tall grass, with the shrubbery here. Interesting. I do find it interesting as well here to knock down these towers. Knock down these rocks. Hellions get across the map, and ByuN, stop killing Bulmyeolja. We gotta. I want to see the map. Where's the tavern? True. Yo, este topping. Oh god. As Heli does get in, 5 probes, getting up to 7 probe kills. This is critical damage already. It was only 2 Hellions, right? Yep, 1 Hellion, 2 Reapers, 7 probe kills. That is critical damage. It was a Stargate opener. I want to look at the map, Bappy. Survive. But this is a lot of damage. Bulmyeolja is behind. He's far behind. He has to do some counter damage. Moving out with the Oracle, moving out with the Adepts. Very quickly here, do we have any taverns in the center? Unfortunately, I would love to see like just a random like neutral tavern in the middle of the map. I'm sure there are some Moopies around as well, some Ewoks, I'm sure. Speaking of, there's a dead bear. I'm sure that's a reference to WoW. Yeah, the Oracle is going to be deflected. Hey, we have more orcs over here. More orcs. They're chilling. Loktar. Catching with the shadow. Only by light. Oh no. But so what I was gonna get at here is I'm a little bit on on the fence when it comes to how defendable your 3-base setup is. The triangular 3rd base, it's also, I mean, again, the tall grass allows for some interesting attack paths. It looks like these are destructible rocks to open up this attack path a little bit more. Otherwise, it does seem a little bit turtley though. Like if you can knock down these rocks here because of these rocks here as well, the attack paths into your 3 and 4 bases is very limited. It looks like really only 2 viable attack paths, so it seems quite easy to turtle up on 4 bases. The 5th base, different story. Right, the 5th base is much more exposed. There's no base here in the center. You do have to expand towards the edges of the map instead. So it's an interesting macro map, I would say, with a bit of a longer rush spike round and with some very interesting terrain in the center. I feel like there's a lot of complexities here. Oh, let's go. Does hide the pylon, and there's little patches like this, like because of all the tall grass, because of all the shrubbery, there are so many locations where you can hide units. You can hide buildings. Yeah, it has a lot of potential. I feel this map makes me excited. Like I'm like, despite the aesthetic, like because of the layout here, because of all the terrain, it's interesting. It's very interesting. I appreciate it. It feels a little bit bold. Feels bold, not too much. Like, bearing in mind that yes, you can knock down these rocks and you can turtle up, but these rocks are destructible as well. True, right? Like this, once these rocks get dealt with, like this space is still very open and very accessible in a longer and later game once this gets dealt with, of course. So that does help kind of fix that. Helps counteract that, I should say. Meanwhile, nice aces. Yeah, nice aces trap Zelda get on top of the rings. Oh my god, go! Send it, Pappy, send it. Keep going. The boys are being pulled. Yeah, the boys are being pulled. Bulmyeolja, he's all in. He's all in. We got a master repair here on the bunker. The stasis is about to run out. It's about to run out. And with that, the Zelda, yeah, they're being shut down. They're being shut down here. They can maybe get on top of the tank. Tank is going to be targeted now. We have more Zeldas coming from behind. Keep going. Keep going, Pappy. Ah, the mine shots. Oof. Yeah, mine shots going off. Zelda cleaned up. The bunker defends. The bunker does hold, and the all-in has failed. Had potential, did clean up a decent chunk of army here, but the bunker does stand strong, and Bulmyeolja barely does not have enough. Yeah, barely not. And with that, ByuN, he does break the center proxy. Prism on the right-hand side. I'm looking, like, I feel like there's some, like, here, like, there's, like, prime locations for Moopies. There's another little outpost here. Another outpost. I'm gonna look it up. Warcraft Black Rock Clan. Who's the leader of the Black Rock? Was that Black Hands? Maybe? But GG. Yeah, there's nothing. GG gets called, and ByuN, who will claim lead in the series, will take game number 1. GG. Whew. But GG well played. With that, ByuN does take lead in the series. Again, it was just a really rough start for Bulmyeolja to lose so many workers at the start of the game to the Reaper Hellion. So Bulmyeolja, he was forced into the all-in, and he had potential with the all-in, but unfortunately the repairs were too good, the surround was too good, and ByuN was able to maintain his natural defend and thrive from there. GG well played. Here we go. Yeah, Black Hand. No, yeah, okay. He was the leader of the Black Rock Clan. Okay. I was like, they're gonna get more creative than that, right? No, apparently not. That was Black Hand. Okay. Just double checking my WoW lore. But here we go. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Necropolis, we do have the red Terran player. We have the red Terran player himself. We have the South Korean Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the orange Protoss player. We have the orange Protoss, the American Protoss. It is Bulmyeolja. Let's go. Let us go. As we are going to be diving into game number 2 here. Once again, another one of these newer maps. We're going to be loading into Necropolis. This one is a little bit more standard, is what I will say. Like, I will say that BlackRock to me feels really inspired. That's what excites me the most. Like, it's got some like older school vibes when it comes to like the snaking like expansion path and like the more narrow kind of avenues between the bases as well. And I find it really interesting to see the use of the rocks and the use of the tall grass, especially on BlackRock. Here, this is a little bit more standard. I say more standard. We do have a very defendable natural. We have a ramp coming into natural. Thankfully, the ramp is quite wide indeed. So this does help offset how defensive typically high ground natural bases are. So we do have that to offset. Likewise, we have the triangular third base and the linear third also on said high ground. Actually, Necropolis. This map looks familiar. Was this already submitted? I think it might have been. That's the aesthetic here reminds me of some of the other maps from the previous TLMC. But yeah, we do have our initial 3 and 4 base setup here. The distance between them is quite wide. I appreciate the larger entrance here between the bases. I appreciate the wider entrance here at the linear third and the wider entrance here at the it's a little bit more narrow here at the triangular third base. And you have the high ground as well. This triangular third looks a little more defendable. You can set up here on the other side of the terrain, and you can try to set up tanks here, of course, to push in. But this space is large enough where that doesn't really impact the defenses too much here. So yeah, interesting setup when it comes to your, even here actually, this is a very defendable fourth base, very inaccessible I should say, as it's a very long kind of pathway to actually rotate into said base. Interesting, with Zelnaga covering that as well. So relatively defendable 4 base setup. Again, this area here, I do appreciate that it is more accessible to try to punish a player that is being maybe a little bit too turtle heavy. Your main base is pretty well secure. Okay. Again, I'm not vibing as much with Necropolis as I am with BlackRock, but it doesn't look too bad. I'm looking at the center here. Like, I have seen more egregious maps from Avex. Yeah, last season Avex was unhinged, Pappy. It was unhinged. Cab. I'm still referring to. I can't even remember the name of the map. I appreciated what it was, but it was the map that was in RSL, which was like never take a 4th base. Like it was like it was like the insanely open map, which was different. It was very interesting. But at least I felt like it was maybe a step too far. What was it? RSL season 1. I think it was season 1 of RSL. Right? Was it Seligadea? No. Maybe it was season 2? Antimatter was in season 1? Cenotaph, that's it. I think it was Cenotaph. Oh. As we do have a mind drop here from ByuN. Again, just scouting, just checking. It is going to be a Twilight Council opener into 2-gate Blink with a Robo. So relatively safe build here by Bulmyeolja. Another mind drop here towards the natural, and we do get one more Rogue. Yeah, one more Rogue kill, nothing crazy, nothing wild. Just a bit of damage. They wouldn't mind just survive, and ByuN can always go back in. Can always go back in. As ByuN's getting to zone 3-1-1 follow-up here. Raven does move out, no Banshee play. The harass does continue as ByuN builds up into his own 2-base setup. So kind of building up into 2 bases. Mind drop continues. Widowmine is focused down. Nice defense here by Bulmyeolja. He's on 3 gates, so again, very safe play. 3-gate Blink into charge before expanding. This feels like a very late third. It is a little bit more delayed than usual here. So delayed third expansion. I'm sure partly because Bulmyeolja was distracted trying to defend. Keeping up with the mines. I do feel like his third base is, again, like it feels like a defendable third, but because it's so large here, it's actually quite accessible. Okay. Okay. I can get behind it. It's just an abnormally large third. Like you don't often get third bases that extend out here, of all things. Which do mean if an army goes unscouted and we do get a big rotation, if we can get on top of this high ground, like this third base is it's dead. Referring to like a tank push, I mean. Tanks can get up here. Or main push can get up there. So now we're going for the bay. Building up into our bay, getting into our own splash damage. Necropolis was an RSL. I'm not referring to Necropolis. I'm not referring to a previous map. But yes, Necropolis is in the current season of RSL. But I was referring to Cenotaph in season 2. Was I thinking of Botanical? Nah, not Botanical. Yeah, tanks that do push in. Zealous they force to engage. The tanks they just pop up on the stalkers. Ooh, and heavy losses here. Yeah, heavy losses with that. We still, man, we want to take down the Immortal. Immortal goes down. Stalkers as well. Heavy losses here for Bulmyeolja. And ByuN overwhelms. ByuN, he just overwhelms the army. GG gets called, and ByuN takes game number 2. GG. I didn't reset the score. But GG well played. ByuN, who will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG, well played. Again, it was cool to see both of Avex's maps. As we mentioned, Necropolis is predominantly already in RSL, but we were referring to some of the other maps that Avex was making, referring to Cenotaph in the previous RSL. But with that, GG. GG, well played. ByuN, he will advance on, and let's catch up on the brackets. Again, unfortunately, Bulmyeolja, when it came to his initial opener, he was defending quite well against the Mind Drops, of course, but he had a shaky follow-up in towards the mid-game, and also crucial to try to get a read on that push, specifically I feel like the Xel'Naga Tower. The Xel'Naga Tower on the left-hand side will help a lot with scouting for these big pushes towards that third. As I mentioned, because the third base is so large, it is very accessible, and especially if you go unscouted. If the army can push in, if we can get on top of the ramp, then things can very quickly get out of hand. GG. GG, well played. But shout out to Bulmyeolja.